just kind of run through why you were wearing the walking boot and how you're feeling in that regard?
Yeah, I'm great. Honestly, I'm getting older. It's the same ankle, right, that I snapped and had a nasty surgery on 4 years ago. So, yeah, a couple of hard days of training, and you get a little sore, and then you're going on a fishing trip, and you want to protect it and make sure that things don't get worse. So, literally, it's absolutely nothing. That's why I said people are reaching, trying to make things that they aren't. I'm getting older. Have to take care of my body. Have to be smart. And if I can take precautions and lessening something by putting on a boot, I'm gonna do it. And so
Do you think Ceedee will work out with you guys?
that's the plan. Yeah, that's the plan.
Any discussions about a new deal for you, and how do you compartmentalize that as you get ready to play again?
Yeah, I mean, there's been conversations back and forth, but for the most part, for me, as y'all know, I'm gonna let my agent do that, especially as we get right here into training camp. Day one of training camp, my mind flips to just obviously helping my team and just doing everything I can within the organization and on the football field to make sure that I'm my best and everyone around me is their best, and the money and all that would take care of itself as it always has.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to my channel. It is Late Night Talk episode 20. And of course, before we proceed into this video, leave a like and subscribe. It is I, Mr. Cowboys fan, where we talk about cowboy things. Alright, so crap, bro. Now I'm gonna have to recreate that Nathan Thomas video again because I just recently, looked at it and noticed that I didn't turn my mic on again. This is the second time that I've uploaded a video where I had uploaded a video, got it all edited and everything, where I had no clue that I didn't, turn the mic on. And the thing is that I did it before, but there were some, other things that, I was dealing with that kept on putting that video on pause. So then when I finally came back and I resumed the video and redid it all over again, I guess I forgot to turn the mic on this time. Of course, none of this would have been a problem if, someone didn't, hold me up, from being able to continue to resume that video. So none of that would have been an issue. But either way, that's neither here nor there. But, yeah, so basically, we got an update. We got an update on Dak as far as not just, his injury and people asking him about, the walking boot, but we also got an update on him as far as, contract negotiations. All right, so first of all, obviously I want to discuss the injury update first, and then we'll save the best for last, which is the contract, update. So either way, yeah, so pretty much, like what, the reporter, they were asking him about, the walking boot, and to keep it, plain, Dak basically, said, of course, that, I'm sorry that everybody was trying to, make a big deal out of all this, like as if the sky was falling or anything like that. It's literally no big deal. I mean, I'm getting older, and obviously it was the same ankle that had snapped 4 years ago that I had to get some serious surgery done on. So like maybe some soreness might have came back, that I needed to just kind of nurse and heal it and Dak is obviously a player who, he really wants to take care of his body, understanding that he's on the wrong side of his career. Actually, I don't really want to say that because Dak is basically in his prime right now. Most quarterbacks, once they turn 30, are basically in their prime. But either way, yeah, so I don't want to say that, Dak is on the wrong side of his career, but this is obviously the second half of his career by far, without a doubt. This is the second half of his career now. This is the second act of his career. So obviously he's starting to get a little older, and you know, some things, like don't really like some things just don't really heal as according to plan as you would hope. So sometimes you have to use a little bit more, you got to give certain parts of your body, that might be sore or might be hurting. You have to give some parts of your body maybe a little bit more assistance, a little bit more assisting than you did back when you were in your 20s. So, it is what it is, so I just want to go back to when Dak was bringing that up about how obviously, like it's the ankle that, I snapped, 4 years ago that I had to get serious surgery done on. So I'm glad that I'm not the only one who kind of was mentioning that and kind of thinking about that. The fact that, he had the walking boot, it was on his right ankle, his right foot. And I was thinking about that. The fact that, what if this is a lingering, like after effect from when he obviously fractured his ankle, 4 years ago? It was something that I definitely was thinking about, you know, and, I just felt like I needed to talk about that in the video. And to anybody that saw the video that, like had some, harsh or negative thoughts about what I said, as far as thinking that he'll be fine, that's not my point, you know, that's not my point, like of what I was mentioning in the video. My point was not that I felt like, oh, the effects from that injury that Dak took 4 years ago is coming back and that might be a big deal. No, that wasn't what I was mentioning. My point was that I was just saying that maybe this is after effects from that fractured ankle injury that he had, of course. So, I mean, like, it's not, like, it can't, it's something that just can't, we can't just, like speed past and not talk about a little bit. The fact that we're talking about a guy who suffered one of the most gruesome injuries, especially of the modern era, one of the most gruesome injuries that we've ever seen. And the fact that it was obviously season ending, and it was also while he was playing under a franchise tag and was really looking to ball out for a new contract. Either way, he still got his contract either way. But I'm just saying, like, and now, like after suffering that gruesome injury 4 years later, you're all of a sudden in a walking boot, and it has something to do with that right ankle that you fractured and snapped 4 years ago. It's just hard to not think about that and not want to maybe discuss it a little bit. I'm not saying it's going to be a major issue or a big deal, Dak is going to be fine, like he said. He'll be okay. It's just he's getting older. The dude is about to turn 31 on the 29th of July. So, I mean, he's getting older, he's in his 30s now. So some things may not, you might feel a little bit of tenderness or soreness in certain parts of your body. And so you start having to, assist and attend those certain, body parts a little bit more because it's very crucial that you take care of that because obviously like it's just you don't want to make any like re-aggravations of a certain part, ligaments and all. So it's just very important to take care of those parts of your body to because I mean we're talking about a guy, I mean he talks about how much he loves football and he loves playing the game, and I believe that he definitely loves playing the game of football, and he definitely wants to be able to play this game for as long as he possibly can. So in order to play this game as long as you possibly can, you got to be able to heal and take care of your body as much as you possibly can. Take care of it, rest it, heal it as much as possible. So there is the little discussion and little topic on the, update on Dak, being in a walking boot. So now I want to talk about the contract update. So of course, you heard him talk about how, there's been, phone calls, back and forth, as far as, his agent, Todd France, and, Jerry and Stephen Jones. There's been, talks, going back and forth. And there might be even talks within amongst, his agent and him, as well. So, but, as Dak has said before, he just he's just, like letting, the so-called professionals in these type of situations, financial situations, letting the professionals take care of it. They focus on the financial things and he can just continue to focus on football. Excuse me. So while they take care of the finances, he can just while they focus and take care of the finances, he can just focus on football. There's two F's that you normally have to deal with when you're playing in the National Football League. The two F's, football and finances. You'd like to be able to focus more on the football rather than the finances, because understand, if you're that good, and believe me, Dak Prescott is that good of a quarterback, top 5 quarterback in the league right now, if you ask me. If you're that good, if you're that elite, you understand that the finances, everything will take care of itself. And you can just, meanwhile, be able to continue to focus and be able to continue to work on your craft as far as football. And that's what he's trying to do. So that's the bottom line as far as that. So they're trying to get into the works as far as, Dak Prescott's deal. And you know what? The more that I think about it, like maybe this is just what it is, it makes sense that you would want your franchise quarterback. I mean, he is supposed to be the franchise. So, of course, it would make sense that you would want your franchise quarterback to get his deal done first because you don't want to take any sort of risk on losing him. Now, granted, I know we got plenty of time, between now and, the start of the season. Like, we got plenty of time. But the point is that you just don't want him to wait any more longer. And you sure as heck don't want to wait any longer until possibly Tua gets his deal, and that could very well then reset the market. And all of a sudden, now you got to make new suggestions, talk about now different suggestions as far as the negotiations, because now all of a sudden the price just went up, obviously. So, yeah, you obviously don't want to take a risk on losing him because contract negotiations just don't go as well as you would have hoped. So, they're trying to get this done, and they're trying to get this done now. All right. And so they can just finally wash their hands of the Dak Prescott situation, and they can finally just woosah for, a little bit. But you also heard, I also put, of course, that part there at the end. The reporter, asking, Dak Prescott about, is Ceedee Lamb going to, be there for training camp? And Dak Prescott, he kind of like, I'm not gonna lie, like, I was being given off the vibe of someone who seemed like they wanted to, avoid the full on answer as much as possible. Like, it was very short and sweet. Like, they asked him about, do you expect, Ceedee Lamb to be there for training camp? And he just kind of said, that's a plan. Yeah, he said, that's the plan. That's the plan. And he kind of gave a little bit of a look, like, a look of like, I don't want to call it annoyance, but just a look of like, just like, I really just don't really, I don't know, like, I don't know. And I'm really not, I'm really not trying to be, answered that type of question right now. Like, if you want to ask anybody that question, ask Jerry or ask Ceedee personally himself, you know. Of course, of course, in the video, he did actually, go on to speak a little bit more about Ceedee, but they asked him about how many, throws have you, given to, how many throws have you and Ceedee Lamb been practicing on? How much throws have you given him during this off season? And Dak was like, I don't know, like, I can't really count right now. And I don't know if part of that is cap, all right, or if part of that is literally like just straight up, like he can't count, like, I mean, they have been working, during their, personal time together, and they've been working, a lot, even if it's not at mini camp, OTAs, they've been doing it outside of the facility, trying to continue to regain that chemistry, that trust. Well, maybe not trust. The trust is there, but just continue to regain back that chemistry that you had, of course, from last season. You just don't want to lose that momentum. You don't want to lose that mojo. So, either way, we got to talk about this Ceedee Lamb situation. I mean, I saw see a Cowboys fan talk live stream talking about, you know, contract updates. Dak's deal is coming, and maybe Ceedee Lamb as well. I didn't really see or hear anything in that conversation as far as the contract update from the video that I saw that, you know, hinted at anything as far as, you know, CD's deal, but it definitely hinted at Dak's deal coming soon. All right. You know, Dak's deal could very well be coming soon on Blu-ray and DVD pretty soon. So either way, you know, that's you know, pretty much what I wanted to say about that. To close, yeah, Dak Prescott kind of mentioned and thought the exact same thing that I was mentioning and discussing in a previous video of, you know, about a couple days ago. So, you know, as far as, you know, like the injury that he suffered 4 years ago and how maybe a little bit of lingering effects have, you know, came back from that injury. But either way, you know, like he said he's fine. I said he'll be fine. So I think he's fine. Um and then of course, you know, the contract updates as far as, you know, like Dak hinting saying that Todd France, you know, his agent, they're, you know, going back and forth right now as far as phone calls, as far as the negotiations, but like I said, Dak's mindset right now is just, look, I'm gonna let my agent and the, you know, Jerry and them take care of the, you know, finances and stuff while I can continue to still focus on football. All right, because he knows how good he is and understands that the finances will take care of itself. So he can just continue to focus on football, and that's it. Nothing less, nothing more. And then, of course, the CeeDee Lamb thing. Dak seeming a little skeptic. Me, not excuse me, me feeling a little skeptical as far as Dak's answer to when the reporter asked him, do you believe that CD will be at training camp?" Now, granted, you know, the obvious answer is, you know, yeah, of course, you know, like you know, we expect him to be at training camp, but it's not really like the answer that he gave as far as saying that's the plan. That's the plan. It's just kind of like the facial expression that he kind of gave, like as if it almost kind of like a little bit of annoyance, like, you know, kind of like an annoyance, like, listen, you know, I'm really not trying to answer that question right now. Like, if you want to ask somebody that, ask CD personally. Like, I don't know anything about that, you know. Like, if I knew, um, if I knew, then if he knew, then he would have, you know, hit me up and texted me that, you know, he'll be there. So for right now, I just don't know. That's just kind of like the vibe that, you know, I was getting from the facial expression that he gave when he made his answer. But either way, you know, let me know y'all's thoughts and opinions in the comments down below. And, you know, I really want to, you know, like see some of y'all's opinions, you know, and stuff in the comments as far as how you guys feel about some of this stuff. You know, it's actually been a while since I've gotten some thoughts and opinions and, you know, in the comments down from you guys. And I think that's, you know, I enjoy being able to, you know, see that, you know, see, you know, like y'all's, you know, like analysis on some of the things that is going on. So, yeah, you know, you leave your thoughts and opinions, of course, in the comment section. And, you know, as always, you know, to all my audience, to all of Cowboys Nation, this is Late Night Talk, episode 20, and we are out.